All right, trying to do a video about the entire Google Plus experience, at least with Hangouts. And they've got the new Hangout features, which is what we're testing today. Nobody's seeing this yet because this is the video setting up to this, but I'm clicking on the Start a Hangout button. Then we get this screen here, the Google Hangouts button. It gives us two options. Your circles, add more people. Let's go public here. It's going to go public. And actually, I forgot about that. Actually, what we want to do is we want to try Hangouts with extras. That's what we're testing today. So click on that. We'll keep this going. Named Hangout, shared links, Google Docs, all sorts of good stuff. We'll try it with extras. Different interface. I'm still back here. Here's my computer screen. Thank you. Look at that focus. Look at that focus. Focus on the finger. At least it should. Let's do that. Focus on the hand, and then focus back on me. Autofocus. Good stuff, huh? The Hangouts with extras test. Let's invite the public. And microphone's working. Obviously, video camera's working. Let's start the Hangout. So no one is here right now, obviously, because we just started it. And it's going to be interesting here to see what happens. It should start up inside of Google. And I don't want to change the video too much here. But let's... oh, new people are showing up already. Or at least that's what it looks like is happening. Hey, looks like Joshua Ryder's here. Hey, Josh.
Hey, Paul, how you doing?
Hey, Josh, we're getting a bit of a echo. Can we get you on an earphone by any chance?
Yeah, let me switch over.
Cool. All right, while he does that, I'm going to mute him out. Just if I can do that. Oh, whoa. I guess he left. Not a big deal. I did start this a few minutes before, so this will all happen fairly interestingly here. Let's flip over to Google, see what's going on. Do a refresh. And looks like David's coming on board here. And should be interesting. Let's go back to the app. Let's go here. There we go.
Hey, they changed the layout now. I got my little screens on the right side.
Yeah, yeah.
That's different than last time I was in a Hangout.
Now, one thing I want to encourage you, and I just remembered this, was go full screen on the Hangout, because some of the technique I want to show here is best with full screen. So go as full screen as you can on this, if you would.
Okay.
Just inside your browser. Trust me on this one, it'll make sense in a minute. I'm doing the same thing, and I'm going to be recording this, so everybody will get to see that in action.
This is an extra big monitor I got, too. It's a big
good, enjoy.
iMac, so I got lots of room.
Myself as well. Okay, so now what I want to do, well, we've got some other people coming in, but basically, guys, I just want to show you, we've got the ability to share the screen, which is right here. Now, of course, you can't see me sharing the screen because you're watching this on the video live, but those of you watching the recording were there. So what's cool, when we go share a screen here, we've got all the different options. We've got the entire desktop. We can share talk.google. We can share Google+. We can share Noseby that I've got running and Notepad that I'm running here. Now, if we share this one, check this out. Nice and clean, and you've got my screen, and you've got, you know, a pretty nice resolution version of what's going on. Hey, Michael, welcome to the big test here. And I'm just showing the sharing of my sticky notepad here. Sharing.
Oh, so you can share just an app. That's nice.
Yeah, yeah, you can share anything you want. So here's, you know, sticky being charged, or you know, being way bigger than it needs to be. I'm going to now share something else here.
Huh.
So I'm going to stop sharing.
Paul, your photo turned into what was being shared.
Yep.
So we lost your photo of you. We just got the picture of what's being shared, which is interesting.
Yep. Now watch this, guys. Here's something I learned in this testing. Hey, Cher.
Hi, how you doing, Paul?
Doing great. All right, so now you guys will see I'm sharing. Here's a little trick that I learned in testing this out earlier today. Now, I would highly recommend that you guys go as large screen as you can on this, because you'll see this in example here. But basically, if you take Chrome, do a decent sized screen, give it a chance to refresh, you guys will see that it's a fairly good webcasting technique. And if you guys go larger screen on this, you can get a good idea. But basically, we have ourselves a really nice, webcasting platform. And now we're inside of, we're inside of Google Plus, and I can do whatever I want here. So, I can check what's going on here. You guys see that? How's the picture for everybody?
The picture's fine.
Good.
Yeah, it's good for me too.
Yeah, exactly. Now, who's experienced with GoToWebinar?
Well, why use that?
Well, exactly. That's the question. Where do you guys feel like this thing, deals with in terms of GoToWebinar?
I'll use other tools. Hang on a minute. I'll use other tools to do that, not just GoToWebinar.
Gotcha.
Because it's based on Cisco's platform anyway.
Right. Somebody's cell phone's going off. But in terms of just all the third-party webinar platforms, I mean, this is just as good, right? Is there anything here?
Yes. Good.
Yeah. No, that's fine. It'll do that stuff without any problem.
Right.
The share screen's really good.
Yeah,
Right.
and it's pretty clean. And if you go bold on this, you can see how clean it is here. And I'm going to do a quick post to show you guys how this works.
Okay. Hey, whenever it works.
Having a good time sharing. Let's see.
When.
Let's mute
Yeah.
David there.
That's fine.
So, Paul, you have control to mute the people
Yeah, it's
hanging out?
So
Or?
do you.
Well, I thought I did.
Let's
see. I don't think I do. It's funny because there's a mute button.
It's in Northeast.
Hey, Dave, can you? Hey, Dave, we can hear you. Let's see. Let's see what I got here.
No, you can't use the mute yet.
That's funny
what
because
they're having trouble with is overlaying on HTML5, so they can't
we already have a plan that was
put the
drawn
functionality they had in Flash.
Gotcha.
Plan,
Gotcha.
order of plan, although we didn't
Hey, Dave.
really have specific
Never mind.
plans picked out per se, but we certainly have.
All right, come on, Dave. Come on, Dave.
that-
Oh well, I'll just talk over Dave. So there's a problem with it,
Sort of cut out.
but
And crew is
having a good time sharing
all the
inside of
kids
Google
now.
Plus.
So they're just finishing the walkways and the patios and things, and then it's very easy to see.
All
what
right,
is,
there's
what
got to be a
the
way.
fence is gonna go. That's
Well, why would they have a
right
mute
now.
button?
So really,
Michael, why would they have a mute button if it doesn't work?
that's really the big
It's
deal here.
it's just
The area
there as
is fine. It's
a
just,
sample.
what
They've
we
got to
have,
actually do some more coding.
Okay.
You know,
So I was having a chat with someone about it last night, and we were just discussing that.
Interesting. So definitely
So
still.
it'll be fine.
so yeah, we already have the plan.
But yeah, no, it's possible not just use GoToMeeting. I mean, yeah, you can use that for a screen capture and have a panel.
Except
The
our
best
stuff,
bit
yeah.
about it is the fact that we can actually use it as a panel.
Right.
It's big.
Right. Hey, David. David, we can hear you and we can't mute you. Can you mute yourself, David? We'd really
He hasn't
appreciate
got
that.
headset in.
I think he muted himself, I think is what happened there.
Yep.
Maybe you'll disclose some personal information and we can tweet that out to the world there. Okay, so a couple things we learned. One, screen sharing works great. Just as good as any other platform that we might want to play with. Number two, we've learned that... hey, I think he muted himself. Number two, we've learned... Now here's interesting for you. This is Noseby, where the screen resolution... This is a third-party app. The screen sharing on that works pretty well. And, something internal to...
What is that? Noseby?
Noseby is a GTD type of contacts manager. And it's basically GTD all groupware style. And they've got a web version of it. And they've got a desktop, and the iPhone iOS apps are really good. And, of course, here is, here's a stickies note, which is way blown up, much larger than it needs to be. So this is pretty cool. And one of the things I was thinking about was you could do for lack of a better term, a Google Plus private membership site by creating a circle of just the people that you wanted to do the web broadcasting to, and then limit the limit the Hangout to people inside of your private membership site, and then have it handle all the user management and that kind of stuff. Any thoughts on that, anybody?
But do they allow you to do that? Because what I heard before is that anybody that finds your Hangout would be able to join despite being connected or not.
But the thing is, you can restrict a Hangout. So let's go. Actually, I can't show it here, but when you set out a Hangout, you can say who you're going to share with. Like I did a Hangout today with just Amy Porterfield. Kind of used it as a as a version of Skype, if you will. And I don't think I can.
Much better than bloody Skype, that's for sure.
Oh, absolutely.
But the other one that we're not shown is Office 365, which is as good as this platform.
Well, Office 365 though, Office 365 costs. There's
$5.
There's a price tag associated with this. Does it have video conferencing on that?
Yep, it has everything on it, and it is as good, and it will actually hold more people.
Interesting.
You can safely get up.
Interesting.
To 50 people with it.
Interesting. Do they require anything? What I'm going to do here is I'm going to show you guys a different screen really quick.
What's the name of this video sharing?
Office 365, Microsoft.
It's their answer to Google Docs. So here's setting up, Shehar, here's setting up an event, and basically you can just decide, here I could only have, Amy Porterfield.
You can put anyone you like.
Yeah, and then I can have, basically only that person gets to do the Hangout. And so if I had a circle of, private membership stuff, that's the way I could restrict, who views what. Mm-hmm. So it's an interesting idea. So
also, Shift F will get you the names up on the right, and also if you take it one step further, Shift F will actually get you frame rates as well.
Ah, interesting. Okay, thank you.
And Shift P will actually, what's Shift P? I forget. Shift P does something else too. So I can watch all the bounce rates.
Looks like everybody's at about 7, 8 frames per second, which isn't bad.
Well, I was up about 20 before. Just depends who's up.
And I'm downstairs in my basement, attached by Wi-Fi, so anything's possible.
You can have 10 people per Hangout, right?
Yeah.
10 people per Hangout, so that's only 10 that you can have in your webinar. The broadcasting feature, as I understand it, is 10 people can be in the Hangout participating, and then with the new broadcast feature, any number of people can watch.
Exactly.
But those people, as I understand it, aren't restricted.
Yeah, on camera you can have 10, right? But you can have other people just just listening or watching.
So if you wanted a paid webinar, I think you can only have 10 because that's the only number you can truly constrict.
I can't imagine Google would not restrict access to the broadcast. What's the thinking there? I mean, the whole idea is you touch who you want to touch and not everybody else. And if you open up the broadcast to the world, that could get...
But why use YouTube? Because they've set it up to work with the partners only. YouTube broadcasting is only available to partners at the moment.
Right. But the Hangout thing...
That looks to continue.
The Hangout thing, where basically after you have the 10 and then it does the broadcast of the webinar, that's what I was thinking about.
But that's actually, that requires an account, and those that have got it and are testing it have got a partner account with YouTube. Right,
gotcha.
Which is pretty strict.
Gotcha.
Like, in what you're showing now, like in Chrome, all that information you couldn't show on a broadcast because it's not all your content.
Gotcha.
Okay, you've got a content sharing, like you can't show a YouTube video on YouTube, right? You can't show a YouTube video on most platforms, except if it's your own stuff. You know, having, or if it's Creative Commons rather than private. But you've got to have permission for all that stuff, and unless it's your stuff and you want to share it. Yeah, I know people that do, but technically, no, they can kick you off, and that's what. That was one thing that happened out of the protest on Sunday in Wall Street. You know, that was one of the issues that people that wanted to cover it were snaffled because they'd lose their license. Right, and we were discussing that earlier in the week.
Gotcha.
But yeah, the technology's there. It's only Cisco platform that they're using.
Right.
And they've just said, right, well, let's go and chuck it out and make it free.
Right.
Okay, so the concept of actually, you know, yes, you can run your own webinar. Yes, you could probably show any program you like. But yeah, just be aware that, you know, if you're sharing content, it's you've got a real issue with
well, so now
with copyright.
Now I'm looking at Real SEO here reporting on this, and it says anyone you open your Hangout to can watch your live broadcast.
Yeah.
That's right.
And that's what I'm saying. It's not restricted.
Yeah, you can have 10 people on camera.
But anyone you open your Hangout to. So if I didn't open my Hangout to Andrew can't watch my live broadcast.
Well, they can go to GP Hangouts, for example, and find your Hangout there and join.
Well, not if I restricted it.
Yeah.
Like this one's public, you know. But if I closed this up and restricted it to only us, other people couldn't join on board, right?
Yeah.
No, that's fine. I've run closed Hangouts before where you just invite people.
Right, exactly. So I'm
broadcast
wondering, can you do closed Hangouts? We all get you can do that, but can you do a closed broadcast?
Yeah, it's only just up share out.
Right.
The broadcast side of it's not affected. It's only who's available in the Hangout.
I don't understand what you mean there.
All right. Okay. Well, we've got 10 people in the room.
Right.
And you can use 10 people in the room, but that broadcast can be captured and sent on to millions. Virtually.
Right.
And that's not affected. Except for the permission of the people that are in the room, whether they want their image up on as a broadcast. And that's affected too. So they need to know that there's going to be broadcast.
Gotcha. All right.
That's fairly tricky stuff. And of course, there's some legal issues around that.
Oh yeah,
that
there's
to be accounted for.
Ton of interesting stuff that's got to be figured out there. I'm seeing if
Anyhow, I've got to scoot. I've got another show that I've got to look after in a minute. So.
We'll enjoy. Thanks for the input there.
Hey, Paul, I just put a link in the chat.
Okay.
You might want to take a look at it. It's from the Google website about Hangouts on Air. It says all Hangouts on Air will be recorded and publicly aired live on Google Plus and YouTube, and made publicly available later for playback.
Huh. Well, there it is. Okay. Wow, that's silly.
Well, it depends on how you're viewing it.
Well, sure. I mean, obviously, you'd only want to do it. And, of course, the big thing here is that feature is only available to individuals selected by Google. Is, of course, the other important part.
I mean, here's the thing. What I think Google should do, I don't know what they're going to do, but, I think there's two sides to this coin. There's Google Plus as a personal social place to hang out with your friends and have a good time, and that's cool. And then whenever they kick you over to the business side of this, when they make available the business pages or whatever they're going to be called, there should be a Hangouts for Business section,
right,
where you can have all the things that we want, the restricted, blah blah blah. So that would be the smart thing to do, I would think.
Right.
If you had a Google Plus business account, you could get a special Hangouts for Business, which included all the things that we need to do to have people pay for our webinars and stuff.
Interesting. Well, that's the biggest piece of info. Thank you for that link. That's the key thing. I can't imagine. I don't understand why they're doing that, but I guess the figure is if you got more than 8 people, if you got more than 9 people, it's not a closed conversation. I guess is probably what they're going through in their mind, because that just seems weird to me. But it is what it is. You can't deny the text.
Yeah, I don't think that they view this in business terms right now.
Good point.
But they just don't see it with those kind of eyes.
Good point. Absolutely good point.
But you know, the opportunity's there, and I hope they provide it, because there's lots of small businesses that could use this. You know, it's weird. They've got this, you know, apps, Google Apps thing, which is their business side of their sort of house, which is sort of second-class citizen, frankly. If you have a Google Apps account, you're kind of a second-class citizen, which is really weird. I don't know why they don't have better business support all around.
Yeah. Definitely. That's yeah, good stuff. What does everybody else think?
You'd pay a little bit for this, right? Because how much is what do you call
GoToWebinar is $97 a month, and that's an old grandfathered thing that I'm stuck inside of. So people can't get that for that today.
I think if Google.
What if Google charged $50 a month?
Yeah.
You know, undercut them.
You were saying something, Isaac? Nope, maybe not.
You know, they don't have to make a ton of money off this in general. You know, they can make all their money on other things like ads, so they could afford to sell this really cheap.
Yeah. They're doing fine. They're absolutely doing fine. Okay, so what have we learned? Screen resolution is equal. Public broadcasting is not available to everybody and will be public, so there's no real business application use to it. I guess if you're a musician and you want to broadcast your concert, that's awesome. Interesting
It'd
stuff.
be fine for free webinars, though.
Sure.
You want to do a free webinar to sort of give people a taste of what you do.
Right.
I think it's great for that, because there's an audience here on Google Plus that you might not find other places.
Right.
And for that audience, hey, come by, see my quick little 15-minute version, and if you really want the full deal, I got an hour that I'm doing over on, you know, whatever the platform.
And of course, I wonder what they're going to do.
It might also be good for giving previews of your future webinars if you've got something that you're going to be giving away there on, you know, like you said, a longer webinar. You can give a quick peek of it over here on Google Plus throughout the week. You know, we'll have these scheduled 15-minute increments throughout the weeks where we'll just do a quick hangout with, you know, the 10 or 12 people, and then at the end of the week we're having our hour-long one somewhere else.
Right.
Yeah, if you've got a real high-end product where there's only 10 people involved anyway, then
right,
why not?
You can also give a preview with a small group, and you record that preview and repurpose later on other marketing channels.
Yeah.
As well as you can invite some partners and, you know, talk around the topic, like Google Plus, for example, record that and repurpose that later. I think would be a good use.
Absolutely.
Let's also not forget that, you know, GoToWebinar has things like the polling, the question queue. It does have a lot of nice features.
Right.
You know, this doesn't even come close to having, which are kind of nice if you've got a big group.
We've got chat rooms, and you know, this chat over here is pretty good. I mean, you did a great job there. Let's try a Sketchpad here. I want to see what this is like. I can't imagine this being that big of a deal for me, but let's see here. All right, I'm going to draw something. How do I draw something? Here's an arrow. Hey, there's an arrow. Look at that, guys. I drew an arrow. Yay.
Are you sharing your Sketchpad?
Yeah, you're not.
Oh, I should be. Let's see.
I see it.
Now do you see it? Up, Sketchpad. Oh, so it's basically just a tool. So I mean, there's nothing different than if I just had a drawing program on my Mac. If I have to share the tool, I mean, then that's just kind of silly. Right?
It sounds like to me the primary use of it, because I mean, if you were doing a one-on-one interview type thing, you could still use Skype very effectively with the screen capture. This sounds like it would work if you had, say, a little panel of experts that you were wanting to record some sort of session, you know, maybe a half-an-hour session if you were, you know, doing something on YouTube, Paul, with you and, I don't know, a couple other experts, and you needed to get multiple people on there. You record it and stream it later during a webinar or during some other event, or just even upload as an interview to your YouTube channel as a panel type thing.
Yeah, we in our inner circle the other day, I invited some of the members for a hangout with the intention also to record that and show the members interaction, and just for half an hour talk about their businesses and things like that. So it was just a cool benefit of the month with a new tool.
Okay, well, I mean, okay, so learnings. The broadcast is a way off, and it's not what I wanted. It's going to be only select people. It's going to go live to YouTube, and the stuff that goes live to YouTube, I mean, I haven't even gotten that yet as a YouTube partner, so I don't imagine I'm going to get it on this account, which isn't tied together. Sharing screen's pretty nice. That's a nice feature, but we only have the 9. The notes in Sketchpad just pulls up a browser, so there's nothing really different there. So their note Sketchpad thing's no better than me just pulling up a copy of Pages or something like that. Nice, but not necessarily that earth-shattering. Any other thoughts out there?
I think it's really good for small consultants dealing with a few number of clients, because
Sure.
I do like the sharing of Google Docs. You know, if you were on with your client, you could go over a lot of stuff. You could review a new web design. You could review some notes, all kinds of different things, just as almost like a one-on-one. Because I think that screen sharing on Skype costs extra money, right?
I'm not sure. I think it's more than one person on video is extra money. But I was thinking, I don't know. I figured out how to do screen sharing in the last version of Hangouts. Now that they added it, it's nice, but it wasn't necessarily that important to me.
Well, it's not a bad one-on-one tool. If you had a one-on-one with a client, you could review a bunch of stuff. Not a bad little tool for that.
No, I think that sums it up. And like Sharer said, it's good 1-to-1, David, good 1-to-many, Sharer, but no more than 9. Once you pass that,
it's a little limited. But the other thing, I don't know, Paul, but we do a lot of, when we give our teleseminars, we actually combine with live streaming with Ustream, and we have everything on one page, buzzbooster.com/live, so people can chat and everything. But we always have one issue: the co-host is not recorded, right? So we were debating here that using Google Plus, even if it's a preview before we do live, would allow us to capture that with host and co-host. You know what I mean? Because you cannot record the co-host, which is a huge issue because there is no use of repurposing later.
right?
Yeah, I've had to do strange things with mixers to get the audio to come back in and use screen capture to get it to work on Ustream right.
The mixer for the audio, but you will not have them recorded on camera.
Well, the way I did mine was I have them up on Skype and I run a audio jack out of my headphone jack into a mixer and then back in, so that my mic and the audio coming out from them are both combined into one to go back into the Ustream, and I was able to get it recorded that way. But it's a pain and it's a very complicated workaround.
Yeah, we did something with Robert Scrobe when he was launching his book, and the audio we got everything fine, but the video itself of the co-host we couldn't record. So I don't know if the video would work in the way you're setting up. But still, I could come here, and even if I'm doing a preview or, we record that with the two of us and then we do a live one, it would still be useful.
From a screen sharing perspective, the one thing that Google Plus has over, like I use Join.me in some of my coaching sessions, but we're on the phone because they don't have audio plugged in with it, where Google Hangouts would have that screen sharing and the audio both on one versus just the other. But the one thing you do have with the Join.me being a LogMeIn product is there is some of that remote control that you can also get.
Right. Right. All right, cool, guys. Well, thank you. I appreciate this. I will put the entire recording, this plus what was happening on my screen during the time, up, and we'll use the free hosting that Google Plus gives so other people can learn from it. But very, very cool, guys. I appreciate this. I learned, perhaps not what I was hoping to learn, but isn't that the life sometimes? And we'll go from there. But thank you guys for helping me out. Talk to you soon.
Thank you.
Fun.
Okay, guys, and it's done, so I'm going to close it up.